Most men beg for respect without knowing it. They over-explain. They overgive. They chase approval and call it being a good guy. And the woman in front of them feels it instantly. Not consciously. Not with words. But her body knows before her mind does. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody tells men. Respect isn't earned through effort. It's earned through one specific shift in behavior. A shift so small most men walk right past it their entire lives. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why some men command respect the moment they enter a room, while other men who work harder, give more, and try twice as hard, get walked over completely. Do this one thing and something changes. Not just in how she treats you, in how everyone treats you. Stay with me, because the men who understand this never have to ask for respect again. But wait, before we begin, please subscribe to ensure that you never miss out on any of my essential stuff. Comment, "I subscribe," below, and I will personally welcome you to our community. With that said, let's get started. If you've ever felt invisible in a relationship, like your effort goes unnoticed, like she tests you, pulls away, or takes you for granted, this isn't because you're not good enough. It's because somewhere along the way, you learned the wrong lesson about what earns respect. You were taught that being nice, being available, being agreeable, this is what makes someone want you. But biology and psychology tell a different story. Respect isn't built from giving more. It's built from one behavior most men are terrified to practice. Today, you're going to learn what that behavior is, why it works on a psychological level, and how to start using it starting today, not someday. This isn't about tricks. It's about becoming a man whose presence speaks before his words do. Here's where it starts for most men. Somewhere early in life, you learned that being liked meant being agreeable. Don't rock the boat. Don't disagree. Say yes. Smooth things over. Keep the peace. It felt safe. It felt smart. But here's what nobody explained. Agreeableness and respect are not the same currency. In fact, they often work against each other. Think about a man who agrees with everything she says, changes his plans to match hers, and never pushes back, even when he disagrees. On paper, he looks like the perfect partner. In practice, she stops seeing him as a man and starts seeing him as a mirror. And nobody respects a mirror. Psychologists call this the approval trap, when a person mistakes compliance for connection. The more you chase approval, the more it slips away, because approval-seeking behavior signals one thing above all else: low personal value. This is the same principle that plays out in boardrooms, in military units, in friendships. The person who needs everyone to like them is rarely the person people trust. This next part is where most men accidentally destroy the respect they already have. Don't skip it. There's one habit that erodes respect faster than almost anything else. Explaining yourself when you don't need to. Picture this. A man makes a decision. He wants a night to himself. He disagrees with her opinion. He sets a boundary. Instead of simply stating it, he over-explains. He justifies. He apologizes with his tone even when his words don't. She hears the words, but she feels the neediness underneath them. This is a well-documented pattern in human psychology. When someone over-justifies a decision, the listener unconsciously interprets it as uncertainty. And uncertainty reads as weakness, even when the decision itself was reasonable. Compare that to a man who states his position once, calmly, and doesn't need her validation to feel sure about it. Same decision, completely different reaction. One man gets tested, the other man gets respected. The lesson isn't to be cold or dismissive. It's to stop negotiating your own reality with people who didn't ask for a debate. The next section is the actual answer you came here for. The one shift that changes everything. Here it is. The one thing. Respect from others is downstream of respect for yourself. Not confidence. Not charisma. Not money, muscle, or status, though those help. The root signal underneath all of it is this. Does this man treat himself like someone worth respecting? Every action broadcasts this answer, whether you intend it to or not. When you let people speak to you however they want, you're broadcasting an answer. When you abandon your standards to keep someone around, you're broadcasting an answer. When you say yes while everything in you is screaming no, you're broadcasting an answer. And here's the part that changes everything. People don't consciously calculate this. They feel it. It's the same instinct that tells a room who the leader is before anyone speaks. Military units call it command presence. Business schools call it executive presence. Evolutionary psychologists call it status signaling. It's all the same mechanism. Humans are wired to detect self-respect and respond to it accordingly. Do this once. Hold a standard for yourself even when it costs you something, and you send a signal no amount of talking can replicate. But knowing this isn't enough. The next section shows you exactly how this plays out in real relationships, and where most men still get it wrong. Every woman, consciously or not, is running a quiet test. What does this man tolerate? Not because she's manipulative. Because this is how human beings, all human beings, gauge value. We watch what people accept, and we calibrate our respect accordingly. Picture two men. The first man gets cancelled on last minute. Again. He says nothing, adjusts his whole evening, and shows up anyway with a smile. The second man gets cancelled on. He says, calmly, no worries, let's plan something when it works for both of us, and goes on with his night. Same situation. Two completely different signals sent. The first man teaches her that his time doesn't matter. The second man teaches her that his time is valuable, not through anger, not through punishment, just through calm, consistent standards. This is the part most men get backwards. They think holding a standard means being harsh or distant. It doesn't. The most respected men in the room are rarely the loudest. They're the calmest, because they're not performing confidence, they're operating from it. Most men never realize this until the relationship is already damaged. Here's how it shows up before that point. This principle isn't new. It's ancient. Look at any leader history remembers, military commanders, founders, athletes at the top of their sport. The common trait isn't aggression. It's unapologetic clarity about who they are and what they stand for. Take a special forces selection process. Recruits aren't ranked by who's the strongest or the most agreeable. They're ranked by who holds composure under pressure without needing outside validation to feel steady. That composure, that internal stability, is what other people orient around. The same pattern shows up in business. The founders people follow aren't the ones chasing consensus. They're the ones with a clear internal compass, even when it's unpopular. This is what self-respect actually looks like in practice. Not arrogance, not ego. Internal stability that doesn't bend depending on who's in the room. Women aren't unique in responding to this. Everyone does. It's just more visible in relationships because that's where insecurity gets tested the hardest. This next mistake is the one that undoes everything you just learned. Pay attention. Here's where men sabotage themselves after finally understanding this. They swing too far. They confuse self-respect with control. They start withholding affection, playing games, acting distant on purpose, thinking this is what holding a standard looks like. It isn't. It's insecurity wearing a costume. Real self-respect doesn't need an audience. It doesn't perform. A man who's actually secure doesn't need her to notice his standards. He holds them whether she's watching or not. The difference is subtle but massive. One man sets a boundary because he genuinely values his time, his energy, his standards. The other man sets a fake boundary to manipulate a reaction. Women can feel this difference almost immediately, even if they can't name it. Manipulation always leaks through calmness. There's tension underneath it that pretend confidence can't hide. This is why some men try the technique and it backfires. They're not practicing self-respect. They're practicing performance. And performance always eventually gets seen for what it is. The final lesson ties everything together. And it's the part most men never hear. Self-respect isn't a switch. It's a practice, built in small, unremarkable moments nobody else sees. It's the workout you do when nobody's checking. It's the boundary you hold with a friend who takes advantage. It's going to bed on time instead of numbing out. It's finishing what you said you'd finish. None of these moments involve her. That's the point. Self-respect built to impress someone else isn't self-respect. It's a performance waiting for an audience. Real self-respect is built in private and simply becomes visible later, in how you carry yourself. This is why some men who read about confidence never actually become confident. They're looking for a shortcut to the output without doing the input. But respect from others has never been reverse-engineered successfully. It's always a byproduct, never a direct target. Build the discipline first. The respect follows. Every time. Here's what this comes down to. You don't earn respect by trying harder to be liked. You earn it by becoming a man who holds a standard for himself, quietly, consistently, without needing anyone to notice. Do this once, and you'll feel the shift almost immediately. Not because you changed how you treat her, because you changed how you treat yourself. Stop negotiating your worth. Start demonstrating it. In the small decisions nobody's watching. The men who understand this never have to ask for respect again. They simply stop being the kind of man respect walks past. If you want to become the kind of man people naturally respect, subscribe now, because every week, we break down the psychology of confidence, discipline, and self-mastery that most men never learn until it's too late.